Okay, we're going to make spring rolls, and I'm going to show you the fastest, easiest way to make the most delicious spring rolls ever. And yeah, so we have, now the spring rolls I'm going to make, it's almost all raw. The only things that aren't raw in it is the sesame oil. You can get raw sesame oil, it does not have the same flavor. And we're just going to use a little bit of this, but it's really a toasted sesame. But it has an outstanding flavor, so a little bit goes a long way. And this is the brand that every Japanese Asian person in every supermarket is picking up because it's just the best. It has a delicious flavor to it. So that and the rice paper wrappers, which I'm assuming are not raw, even though the jury's a little bit out on that. I think more people would think it's not raw than raw. Some people think the rice is ground and mixed and it's laid out in the sun, that they wouldn't bother in the hot tropical climates that they're made in, they wouldn't bother using the electricity to dry them, that they would just put them in flats and leave them in the sun and they would dry like that. If so, they may be raw. We're not sure. I'll assume they're not. But for the spring rolls, the filling is raw, the dipping sauce is raw, and you can decide. And also, if you want to, you can use collard leaves or romaine leaves or a soft Boston leaf. And you could roll up the vegetables in that, and you could make a pure raw one. It's a little bit harder to hold them together, so you might want to like fold it a little bit, fold the ends in burrito style, roll it up, and put them with the seam down on the plate if you're making a few for a party or to serve at dinner. And it could work that way. It's a little bit messier to use, and most people I know are not 100% pure raw food purists and will go for the rice paper wrapper, and it's kind of a nice treat to have. So I'll put that aside, that's the later part. Right now we're going to make the filling. Okay, so what we have is carrots. We want 2 cups of carrots, 2 cups of zucchini, half of a red pepper, 1 cup of purple cabbage, an inch of ginger, 2 green onions, about 1/4 cup of cilantro, 1/4 cup of basil, and 10 mint leaves. They have really beautiful herbs this time, it's great. And then after the vegetables are all processed in a bowl, or all grated fine, we're going to mix in a tablespoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of olive oil, and a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to set away the oil and salt for now, and we're going to start processing our vegetables. I'm going to use a processor for everything because it's quick and easy, and I have it here. I have access to it, so I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest way if you don't have a food processor. With a grater, grate your carrots and grate your zucchini. Finely slice and chop your purple cabbage where it already has all the ribs. It'll slice into small pieces very easily. You just want everything fine so that you can roll it up. Finely slice this. You can also use a vegetable peeler just to peel slices in it to make it really fine and chop through it. Cut your green onions and cut it into 1 or 2 inch sections, and just cut it on a vertical and then cut it into 2 inch sections. Yeah, slice it into a vertical first, cut it into 2 inch sections, and chop up your herbs and finally mince your ginger, put it all in a bowl, you're set. But I'm going to do it an even easier way. So first, half of it I'm going to use this blade, the grating blade of the processor. But so I don't have to clean out the processor in between, I'm going to the things that get finely minced, like my herbs and my ginger, and also the green onion, I'm going to use with the S-blade. So I'm going to get my knife and get all of my vegetables ready, or my herbs and my garlic and onion. up a little bit beforehand just to make sure no one gets any big garlic chunk in their spring roll. Now the cilantro is good, just take out any of the big stems. I just pulled a bunch off pretty much from the top of the stalk, so it's going to be pretty easy to pull the stems out. Anywhere you see big stems, just pull them out. Those are all fine. That's it. Cilantro's in. Same thing with the basil, you just want the leaves. The smaller stems are fine. That's in. The mint gives it a really beautiful, distinctive flavor. That's a key ingredient in these spring rolls, so you don't want to miss putting the mint in because it's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to pulse that a little bit first, and then I'm going to put the green onion in because I want this a little bit finer than the green onion. Spatula. I could almost live with just a food processor and a spatula. If you've watched many of these recipes, you'll notice that. Okay, those are very finely processed. I'll bring it under here so you can see how fine it is. So, slice up my green onion a little bit and put it in and just pulse it a little bit. None of the old, tougher leaves, just the younger ones. Just in case. Like I said, this is the quick and easy method. We just want everything broken up. And yeah, so it'll get distributed evenly. So every spring roll will get a little bit. Okay, but that's enough. What I'm going to do, I'm not even going to take the ingredients out of my food processor. I'm just going to take the blade out and switch the blades. Take my S blade out, and I'm going to put in the grating blade now. Put my top back on. Now the top part comes off, and I can feed the vegetables in. So I'm just going to get all the rest of my vegetables ready, which is pretty easy. Everything's already washed and pretty much ready to go. So I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces that will go in easily. Zucchini. Top and tail. And I'm just going to cut those in half. Cup of purple cabbage, which I think that's about a cup. So I'm going to leave this out. Okay, vegetables all ready. The processor makes it so easy. This is great. I love it. Put your red pepper in. We're just going to fill this chute up as full as we can. Oops. I'll do all the zucchini first. So it goes down. You can only put this many vegetables in, so I just fill it as much as I can. Put it on and press down. A little bit is going to get stuck in the top. That's fine. We're just going to chop those up a little bit at the end. Just this. Barely. Okay, and process it now. That's it. That's it for the filling. Okay, so we just put the rest of the vegetables that we have processed into our bowl. The few that are on top, I'm just going to chop finely. And add to the bowl. Everything gets mixed in, and especially all the herbs at the bottom. The ginger and all the herbs. And the delicious mint that I love so much. The basil and the cilantro. You can really smell it. This is such a delicious filling for spring rolls. Okay, so now we're just going to add our oil and salt and mix it all together. That's it. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. The sesame oil gives it a really delicious flavor too. That really makes a difference. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Now you can use a spoon, but I like to get my hands right in there. Put lots of good energy into it and mix it all up. So the sesame oil gets really well combined with all of the vegetables, and the herbs are mixed in with everything. It's so colorful and beautiful. Just kind of break up where there's clumps of vegetables, like the carrots are clumped together, just kind of spread them around so it's really mixed up well. Okay, so we're going to set our filling aside. It's all nicely mixed. I set that aside, and we're going to prepare our rice paper wrappers, and we're going to make some really beautiful spring rolls. It smells great. You can smell the basil and cilantro and mint and sesame oil. It's really incredible, delicious. Can't wait.